Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Daniel here. We're going to talk about the top 3 real estate investing strategies for 2021. Oh, yeah. For 2021. Hey guys, Daniel here once again, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to make money in real estate in 2021, as in what are the top 3 real estate investing strategies. And well, I think I'm a lot like you guys, where we see a lot of YouTube videos talking about the housing market crash and what's going to happen in 2021 and whether there will be one or whether there won't be one. And there's a lot of voices in YouTube right now talking about what's going to happen to real estate and the housing market in 2021. And I'm sure I'm not the only one asking this question of, well, how do I make money? That's all great and all, but at the end of the day, how do I get more checks in the mailbox? And well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you guys 3 strategies that I believe are going to be perfect for what's happening in 2021. Now, before we go ahead and do that, of course, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and go ahead and give a little like on that button. Smash the like button, of course, as they say. It really helps us bring this information to as many people as we possibly can. Or maybe you don't want this information going on to as many people as possible. But either way, let's go ahead and get on with the video, and let's start with point number 1. And that first strategy is short sales. Now, a short sale is when a sale of a real estate property occurs in which a lender is going to take significantly less than what the property is worth because the current occupant, or aka the person paying the mortgage, is so far behind on their mortgage payments that the lender at this point will take less. So for example, let's say that this book right here is 0 to 75 units that you can get for free at 0 to 75units.com. Let's say this right here is the bank, and let's say my phone here is the current individual paying the mortgage to the bank. Now, let's say that in this scenario, the property is worth $100,000, but let's say that the bank holds the mortgage for this individual, Mr. Cell Phone, right? And they owe $60,000. Now, let's say that Mr. Cell Phone here is 6 months behind on their mortgage payment. And at this point, the bank said, you know what? Mr. Cell Phone is unable to, it's very clear they're not able to pay the mortgage. Let's go ahead and default. That's when, in the case, an individual like me, an investor, is going to come and say, well, Mr. Bank, what if you got $60,000 left on your mortgage? What if I were to give you $45,000 right now? That way you don't have to wait $60,000, you don't have to wait 20 years to get your $60,000 in a scenario where Mr. Cell Phone here most likely won't even pay you anyways. What if I just give you $45,000 for the property right now, and you can walk away with the money currently and right now? So in 2008, 2009, as you guys would guess, that happened a lot, right? A lot of people were late, they were delinquent, they were defaulting. Therefore, the banks were taking a lot of short sales. And I had a lot of friends who made a lot of money back in 2008, 2009 because they were in the short sale business. Now, how do we then do it? We acquire the property for a lot less. In that scenario, we require a $100,000 property for only $45,000. Well, what's the strategy? Do we flip it, Daniel? Do we wholesale it? Well, no, I would actually recommend you holding on to that property and renting it out because, well, if you're renting it out, if you think about it, you're paying for an income stream. When you buy an apartment complex, when you buy a 4-unit building, you're paying for that income stream. And in this example, you've paid less than half, literally a property worth $100,000. You paid $45,000 for the same income stream as if it's worth $100,000 or if it's worth $45,000. So in my opinion, that's the number 1 strategy that you could be using right now. Short sales, buy property for fractions on the dollar and rent it out for the same amount of income. And well, guess what? The demand for single family housing may not change whatsoever, right? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe the buyer pool will get a lot less. Maybe the buyer pool will get stronger. But nevertheless, right, due to the pandemic, it's no secret that people have been wanting more space. They've been wanting a bigger house. They've been wanting actual, bedrooms and office, home office. They've been wanting these perks and amenities. So having this house that you can rent out for, you may actually end up getting more in terms of rent for that single family house. And we may be living in a time where you can get the property for extremely a lot less than usual, while at the same time charging a lot more for rent. So because of that dichotomy, in my opinion, short sales is a prime strategy for you guys to use in 2021. Not to mention that the amount of delinquencies, the amount of forbearances, the amount of defaults, and also the amount of serious delinquencies, which are delinquencies 90 days or more. We're at 2.15 million right now for 90 days or more in delinquent. Those are serious delinquencies. So again, I don't know if there's a more better strategy in 2021 than short sales.
Man, I've been feeling kind of weird lately. Hey guys, Daniel here, one half of the Quark Brothers, and my brother and I would love for you to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content. As you can see, things here change pretty often.
That brings us to strategy number two. Strategy number two is lease option. Now, lease option is a scenario in which you actually would acquire the property by first controlling it first. So let's say that you and I were to do this transaction together. It's literally a lease with an option to buy. So if you are the seller and I am the buyer, and let's say you have a single family house for $150,000, and the price has increased dramatically in the last 2 years, right? It was worth 120 2 years ago, and now it's worth 150. And that is the case for a lot of houses currently. So let's say I wanted to first control the property before buying it. Well, I would actually have to set a time of which I would lease out the property for. Now, I've seen lease contracts go for as long as 5 years, and I've seen them as short as 3 to 6 months. So let's say that during the 1 year, let's say that's 1 year that we're going to do this lease period until I can exercise my option. For 1 year, I pay you $1,000 every single month. Now, for that 1 year, I'm going to pay you $1,000 again every single month. But once that year is done, I'm going to have the option to exercise on that contract, on that lease option contract, to buy it and pay for it at a predetermined price. That way, it actually keeps you safe from any housing crash that may potentially be coming. Because let's say that you wanted to sell it for 150 now, but you're worried that once you put it on the market, the crash may happen, the housing market, the inventory might skyrocket, and it might plummet your price to 100,000 or potentially even 90,000. So we're gonna do this option for $120,000. After that year is up, in which I pay $1,000 every single month, I have the option to exercise on that contract to buy it at exactly $120,000. So for you as the seller, it's incentivizing because, well, it protects you from any volatility that's happening in the market. It protects you from any housing market crash. And also, it gives me the option to buy at a price a lot lower than today's prices. Now, another incentive for the seller is that they are to receive literally right there what's known as a lease option premium. It's the money that you take up front for even giving me the option to be able to do this in the first place. So in a single family house, the lease option premium most likely is going to be between $500 to $2,000. Now, obviously, the bigger the asset gets, the bigger the lease option premium that we're talking about here. So for you as a seller, you would actually pocket, let's say the lease option premium is $2,000 because I'm feeling extremely generous. You would pocket that $2,000 literally at the time of us signing this contract. I would control the property for 2 years or 1 year in this case scenario. And then after that 1 year, I would have the option to exercise that contract. Now, the reason why I like this strategy for 2021 is because, again, it protects you and also the seller from a lot of volatility that's happening. It protects the price from a potential crash, and it's a safer way to first control the property, then acquire it. That way, I know if it's a good property. I know if I can manage it. I know if the neighborhood's good. I get to control it for about 2 years before fully acquiring the property. And for you as a seller, it sets a predetermined price. That way, if the crash were to happen, you know the price that you're going to get it for if I were to exercise on the contract. And you get a lease option premium upfront to incentivize you to do that. And last but not least, guys, and in my opinion, the most effective way to buy real estate in 2021, the top real estate strategy for 2021 is owner financing. Now, what is owner financing? Now, obviously, in this channel, we talk a lot about owner financing. And before I even give you guys a definition, I encourage you guys to check out our free 3-hour course on seller financing. All you got to do is just go to freeownerfinancingcourse.com. That link will be in the description below, but freeownerfinancingcourse.com. It's a 3-hour class that I put together. It's absolutely for free, and we cover what is owner financing, what are the pros and cons, how to negotiate for it, and also how to even go about putting the deal together. So it's very valuable, guys. I highly encourage you guys to check it out. All you got to do is just put in your email, and you will get the class for free. Now, the definition of owner financing is when you acquire a property not using a third-party bank, but when you have the actual owner or seller finance you as the bank, and they carry the note, they carry the mortgage, and you make the debt service and the mortgage payment to them directly, hence the name owner financing or seller financing. And in Illinois, we call it agreement for deed through contract verbiage, so to speak, but it's owner financing pretty much everywhere in the country. So why do I like owner financing for 2021? Well, Two reasons. Number one is because there's a lot of risk associated with the banks right now. We're not sure what's going to happen once the values of real estate drops, how the banks are going to react to it. We don't know if the financing for banks are going to get tighter. We don't know if mortgage rates are going to get higher in 2021. A lot of sources are saying that they are. But in my opinion, the number one reasons why you would do it is because it's a long-term fixed rate financing. Now, guys, I'll be very honest with you in saying that in the month of January, I probably have spoken to 5 or 6 different banks. And well, every single one of them are offering short-term fixed rate financing, meaning that they only give you a fixed rate for 3 years, 5 years, and the longest I've seen is 7 years. Now, for me, as somebody who loves rental properties and loves buying and holding and building a portfolio, I'm not a big fan of that. I want long-term fixed rate financing for as long as possible, especially right now when rates are at record lows. So for me, having owner financing where you don't have to take on the risk of working with the bank, and you can also set up with the seller individually, mano y mano, and you can set up that low interest rate fixed rate for as long as you possibly can, is absolutely valuable, especially at a time right now where cash is absolutely trash and they're printing money like crazy. And there's more stimulus programs. They're printing another $1.9 trillion according to this new administration. So there's a lot happening right now. So in my opinion, in a time where cash indeed is trash, long-term fixed rate financing, acquiring properties, owner financing is, in my opinion, the best real estate strategy for 2021. Well, if you guys made it to the end of the video, I want to say first and foremost, congratulations. But I want to tell you about a special event we've got going on. Actually, tomorrow, January 26th, we're doing Deal Closer Live. Will be myself. I'm actually going to spend an hour and 15 minutes talking about, not only what are the best real estate strategies for 2021, but also what are the actual action steps for you guys to be doing today to be able to start making money this year. Now, we also have my friend, Mr. Steve Hamilton, who's going to talk about how to set up your taxes and your financial structure so you can do the best of those things in this year of 2021. And we also have my friend Jerome Maldonado, who's going to talk about commercial real estate and industrial warehousing. And we also got my friend Ty Lopez, who's going to be sharing as well. Deal Closer Live, get your tickets, dealcloserlive.com, guys. The event is tomorrow. So if you're watching this and you're lucky enough to watch this on Monday night, today when it's coming out, go check it out, dealcloserlive.com. And also on Thursday, we're going to be posting a video on how Joe Biden affects the housing market. And not only just this year, but overall, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on that. So on Thursday at 6 p.m., we're going to release how Joe Biden will affect, new President Joe Biden will affect the housing market in 2021 and also 2022 and what we as investors should expect. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all so much. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really does help out our algorithm to get this information out to as many people as we possibly can. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.